I knew I couldn't be a wrestler, so I had to think of ideas of what can I possibly do. So I said, maybe I can be a referee. I was going to Northeast Championship Wrestling shows. How can I get in for free? They said, hey, you want to be a referee? Go see TJ Richter afterwards. But I want to move on and see what else is out there. I went to Bob's school from there. Summer of 2012. Now is a Ring of Honor television taping, and they put me in a television match. He wants things to be very on point. They become a lot more of a serious product. Hammerstone Ballroom. Yep, I was there for Ring of Honor as well for final battle. Brutal Bob had an Iron Week, 3 of them in that same week. And then apparently some old guy who was there was like, I'll be waiting for a referee on the parking lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, hosted by Coach C, Chris Sanders, this is Best for Business.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Another episode of Best for Business. I'm pumped for this one. Referee Dan Tanaka, thank you so much for joining me for this one.
You having me, Chris?
I'm pumped for this one. So I'm curious for you, pro wrestling. What was it about wrestling that originally ignited that passion for you to want to get involved in it?
Just being a young kid, seeing some stuff on TV, the likes of Hogan, Savage, Big Boss Man, just to give some examples. And I had a neighbor kid when I was 10 years old. He had all the action figures from Hasbro. And that kind of drew me a little bit further into it because it's, his crazy toys and video games. And I kind of like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah. So how do you make the jump to eventually get involved in pro wrestling?
I was a college kid at that point. And I had only knew about Killer Kowalski's wrestling school out in the Boston area. So I was like, okay, maybe one day I'll go there, see what can I possibly do. I knew I couldn't be a wrestler. At that point, I knew some of my health issues with my back. I couldn't be a wrestler. I was like, I probably shouldn't do that. So I had to think of ideas of what can I possibly do? Can I be an announcer? Can I be a commentator or a manager? I don't have that much of a loud personality. I'm more of a keep to myself and do my job kind of a guy.
Yep.
So I said, maybe I can be a referee.
Well,
And that's where it comes a little bit later on.
so you start getting involved originally. I'm curious for you, as somebody who's currently in college, when you talk about it was the college days that you started thinking about eventually getting involved in wrestling, was wrestling just the goal for you, or how did you approach wrestling originally?
Actually, I started going to independent wrestling shows. I
Nice.
saw a poster in my little town here, saying, "Hey, live wrestling at the Armory." I'm like, that's kind of funny. Okay, I had some ideas about independent wrestling that I just didn't know was going to be around here.
Yeah.
And then I saw these weird names like M. Hardy. I'm like, nah, that can't be right.
Yeah.
I saw Doink the Clown. I'm like, yeah, there's been many Doinks. I get that. And I saw when I said the Man from the Dark Side. I'm like, no, wait, what's going on with this one? It can't be the Undertaker. So I'll go and see what happens. It's like $10 to go, I think,
Yeah.
back in 1999. It ended up being Brian Lee, who was, of course, the Falls Undertaker at SummerSlam '94.
hmm
Yeah.
So you get involved when you go to these shows, you see Killer Kowalski's ad, you decide refereeing is probably your idea of where you're going to go. How do you make the approach to start doing it?
So I was going to Northeast Championship Wrestling shows
Okay.
a lot, and I was like, how can I get in for free? Not to be a cheapskate, but college kid, not much
Yeah.
money. But of course, I wanted to do something in order to get it. So I said, I got this timekeeper's bell, and they happen to not have a timekeeper's bell. I'm like, hey guys, want to borrow my timekeeper's bell for admission? Like, yeah, sure, why not? So they're getting to know me for a little bit, and someone else I knew was also doing stuff there. So they said, hey, you want to be a referee? I'm like, okay, but I'm not trained to do it. Can you guys help me with that part? And like, what do I want to do? Okay, we'll give you some couple trainers that night to start you out with, and we'll send you to wrestling school. Like, we'll help you find one.
Hmm.
So at that point, I had Chris Santone and a guy named his name then was Pee Wee Sherman. He's now P Has up in Maine.
Okay.
So they were instructing me how to be a referee well before fans came to the show, and then a couple, I guess call them spar matches. So I was learning from there, and it's okay. We'll give you a couple matches tonight that are the more lower end of the night, so you can get weasel into it. And then go see TJ Richter afterwards, and then go to his place. All right, cool. So that was December 29th, 2001, where I had my first night.
Nice.
Yep.
When you talk TJ Richter, I'm curious for you, when you go to his school, what are some of the biggest lessons that you learned from him?
He was telling me to be louder because I was kind of hesitant to be loud. I was just kind of more nervous.
Yeah.
I understood the concept watching TV, but just getting it out of myself was the other thing about it.
Yeah.
So he's being be authoritative, enforce the rules as you go along. Whatever you see, call it.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid of these guys because they're professionals and they're gonna. You wanna be authoritative towards the heels and anything else happening to help enhance the match emotions.
Yeah. Doesn't Bob Evans have a hand in training you too?
Yes, after a while being with TJ Richter, Bob was like across the state in Rhode Island,
Yeah.
like Providence, Woonsocket, so a little ways further. So I said, looking up Bob's credentials and his results for training people, I said, TJ, it's been great here, but I want to move on and see what else is out there.
Yeah.
And he really he supported that idea, and I went to Bob's school from there.
Is there anything that sticks out learning from Bob?
Bob, he was more he was more hands-on with me than TJ was,
Okay.
to be honest. Like there was more going on as like learning matches for other students there, so he could teach me a little more about, hey, don't be too close in this area, don't be standing over this area here. And as he started his own TV tapings at the school, learning more about the cameras started coming out,
Nice.
but where to stand as a referee and not, showing your back to the hard cam. That came more of a thing for me there.
Yeah. So I'm curious for you. Originally, you wanted a way to get into NCW for free. You bring your bell, and then refereeing is deciding the path that you're going. Can you walk me through your first match ever as a referee? Is there anything that stands out?
So this was a guy named Psycho Mike, who later became Psycho Mike Osborne, and then
Okay.
Michael Sane. And he went against a guy named GQ Beast, who was just deemed the Beast lives later on.
Okay.
And the stipulation was if Michael Sane beats uh, Beast, he gets 5 minutes in the match with Dean Ripley, who was the manager for Beast at the time.
Hmm.
And it was just a big guy versus another big guy and more of a powerful guy in Psycho Mike. And he just defeats the Beast and then gets 5 minutes with Dean Ripley and then another match right there. So I had two
Wow.
matches in a row right there.
Yeah. When we talk opportunities, I'm curious for you. One place I love talking about on this pod, I'm curious for you. How does your experience come for NWA New England?
So this was a while after Tony Rumble passed away.
Okay.
So at that point, his widow, I guess, held a license or the membership for NWA and allowed a guy named Jason run it. As he was
Okay.
Jason Rage at some point, and became Jason Rumble, which Tony passed to him and said, "Hey, you can be Rumble now."
Hmm.
Experience there, I was still very new. The guys there knew I was very new, and it was just like in a little storefront area, which is where their school was. So
Yeah.
they had shows right there in Woonsocket, and from there is more about let's still get my feet wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk opportunities for you personally, what would you consider Dan Tanaka's first big opportunity in wrestling?
So that was nerve-wracking. It came up in summer of 2012, I think it was,
Okay.
and that was a Ring of Honor television taping,
Yeah.
and they put me in a television match. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Of course, I knew all the guys. It was Vinny Marcellia.
Yeah.
There was Hanson, who is now Evar,
Yeah.
Congo,
Yep.
and I'm forgetting one more guy right off the top of my head. Oh,
Hmm.
Brian Fury. Brian Fury was the fourth
Yeah.
guy.
You've refed all their matches prior, right?
Oh yeah, I knew them
Yeah.
all. But this time we were going for television, like national TV with 7 cameras around us, and really high production going on. Well, at least compared to what we're used to.
Yeah. How did the opportunity come for Ring of Honor?
I was going to Ring of Honor seminar camps,
Nice.
tryout camps,
Yeah.
and I just kept going. Over there, I was the only referee there, pretty much most times. So I was refereeing all the drills and the trial matches they had there. And so they, of course, besides that, in doing a good job, they said, okay, we want to give you an opportunity here in Providence, Rhode Island, and have all 4 guys be tryout camp guys, and you're the tryout camp referee.
Wow.
So that was all. That was the little sub story behind it. You
Yeah.
know.
When you talk opportunities, this one blows my mind. Do you have any moments or memories or how it even started with Chikara?
So that one, I got home from a chaotic wrestling show on a Friday night,
Uh-huh.
and my wife at the time was on a trip, and I'm doing my lawn. I was didn't do my laundry just yet, but Joey Eastman sent me a quick message to say, "Hey, Chikara needs a referee tomorrow in Connecticut. Can you make it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can
Wow.
make it." Well, all my uniforms were all dirty, so I had to right there at midnight throw my stuff in the wash and
Yeah.
wait from the wash and put it in the dryer and wait for that to dry up, and then go to bed, wake up early, and get out to Chikara in Connecticut.
I'm curious. I forgot how referees work. Did referees, you just kept Dan Tanaka for that? Because I know everyone had a different personality there.
What was that? My name?
Yeah, because everyone at Chikara basically wasn't themselves. I don't know how referees
Oh,
worked.
no, they didn't give me a name to use there. I mean,
Okay.
most I did when I got there, I said, "Hey, do you have any different rules here than what's normally done anywhere?" And it was like, yeah, they get 20 counts on the outside, which I was used to that because of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And then, of course, tag rules are like lucha rules. Just guy rolls out and guy can just come in.
Yeah. So you take time, you leave New England, I believe it's 7 years, and you go help with the Detroit wrestling scene, is it?
Yep, that's right.
So is there anything you personally think that stands out about the Detroit wrestling scene compared to New England?
Detroit has more of the edgier products going on.
Okay.
There's a lot of family friendly stuff over there, but you'll find more of the edgier stuff. Like there's death matches going on these days over there, which I never got too much into that. But
Okay.
yeah,
I was gonna say, is Dan Tanaka a big deathmatch guy, but I guess not.
I got surprised one night. Like I didn't know they were death matches. They were called Horror Slam, and I thought, okay, I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, okay, they're doing a little Halloween thing going on.
Yeah.
Well, I know one of the matches I got into was a death match. I used light tubes and everything. I kept myself like 20 feet away from them. I'm like, I don't have my protective gear for this kind of thing, so I'm gonna stay away from you guys.
Yeah. How does WFA come originally when you first started?
So that was May 2003.
Uh-huh.
So at that time, Steve Bradley was the guy running that, plus his wrestling school. And that one, I want to think a couple guys talked to Steve about me
Nice.
because he had no idea who I was or what I do. So the likes of like Chris Venom, who was a trainer at Bob's school,
Yeah.
um, and of course Kevin Kelly was working with Steve a lot then too. But he seen me around and he said, "Yeah, Dan's a pretty good referee. He's pretty new to it still, but he's pretty good. I want to give him a shot." And then so, "Hey, we can use a referee on this May date here up in Hooksett, New Hampshire. Can you make it?" I'm like, okay.
Nice.
And it was
Is
straight from there. It was a very slow process from going any regularly. It took about maybe a year later. I was a regular.
okay. Is there anything different you realize from WFA being a part of the roster from before to now?
Well, it's a lot of different people now. I mean,
Yeah.
back then, most of the guys who were then 2003 are not around anymore. Just not wrestling,
Yeah.
except for maybe Brandon Locke and Scott Reed.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's from the my old days that were still around.
Nice. Is does Mike Hollow have an impact on you too as well?
Yeah, Mike Hollow is very. He wants things to be very on point
Nice.
for wrestling. To the very T. He wants it this way to make it make sense and make it look good for whatever the case, the show itself or television.
Nice.
So it's like I've already been used to that from dipping into Ring of Honor and just practicing myself anywhere I am as a television referee. Just doesn't matter where I am. I mean, no cameras. I pretend it's television
Yeah.
and try to help it be like television.
Nice. When we talk companies, obviously you start with NCW. I talk about differences. Other than the roster, is there anything else? Because NCW is still killing it. And if you look at the track record, so many people in pro wrestling started in NCW.
They've they become a lot more of a serious product. I
Nice.
mean, back then they liked to do a lot of inside jokes for matches or storylines, which no one understood what's going on besides the guys in the roster. So now it's more cut and dry. This is the storyline for professional wrestling, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do it in a way that fans will enjoy it and actually want to see it.
Nice. Do you have a favorite match that you've been a part of from NCW's history?
Favorite match? Oh, there was a couple of them. I'm forgetting all the participants exactly, but a couple of guys we had them surprise win the championship.
Nice.
Went to a pinfall and supposed to be a kick out, but you know,
Hmm.
you get the 1, 2, 3, and then of course the look on their face is like, oh my God, what just happened? I'm
Yeah.
like, you won. I'm like, you won. Like, I won? I'm like, yeah, you're the champion.
Wow. Is there one that
And
sticks out that you were part of?
that was when Dean Lizzie won it. That was more emotional because his kids were there, and
Yeah.
they wanted to see Dad win a championship.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you were to talk your career, another company that's been killing it, brand new Rebel Spirit. So what is that like being a part of Rebel Spirit and seeing their rise in such a short time?
So Rebel Spirit is like they're aiming at breweries to run into.
Hmm.
So like the Techo Box Brewery right now, they're getting more of a residency type of program going on over there.
Okay.
So they leave their equipment there and they can set up on a Wednesday night or Thursday night if they want to, and we're monthly.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what the plans are exactly now, but they want to aim at going through some weekday, like bi-weekly.
Hmm.
So they're doing pretty good with that.
Yeah. When you talk your career, who would you consider your biggest mentors?
Brutal Bob,
Yeah.
Kevin Kelly. For a little while, I was around Chaotic, so I'm not sure if Brian could be a mentor, but he's more of a good advisor for me.
Nice.
He was helping me become more focused in to get into Ring of Honor. Like, hey, Brian, when I come to practice, get on me for these type of things.
Hmm.
Because I want to make it look good for Ring of Honor television. So he
Yeah.
was there helping with that kind of thing.
Nice. When if someone was to ask you, you've got to travel a lot with wrestling. Is there a venue that sticks out that you got to perform in?
The what's it called? Hammerstown Ballroom.
Insane.
Yep, I was there for Ring of Honor as well for our final battle. I want to say, what was it 2013, maybe 2012? I forget.
Do you remember the match you had there?
Yeah, it was Brutal Bob and Cheeseburger
Yeah.
versus Bill Daly and Will Ferreira.
Wow.
So that was like the birth of Brutal Burgers.
Yeah. Wow. Is there a moment in your career that you would consider like your biggest test?
Brutal Bob had an Iron Week,
Okay. Yeah.
so he had Iron Man matches all week long, and I did three of them in that same week. No, alternating days, of course, but
Hmm.
still, I went into that match knowing absolutely nothing that was happening. I'm just like, all right, we're here for an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
Wow.
So I just called whatever I saw, like any kind of submission hold, but the guy goes in his back. I'll count 1, 2, 3. They stay in their back, and they happen a couple of times actually. So they pinned themselves.
Wow. For your career, if you were to look at it, is there one or two ref bumps that really stick out to you?
The one that was the biggest that caused a problem for me was the Boogeyman.
Okay.
So that was with Millennium Wrestling Federation, um, 2010. So it was actually right after my 30th birthday, the day after. So that was kind of funny to me. So, but yeah, Boogeyman is like, can I bump you? I'm like, yeah, I can't really do any high impact stuff because of my spine. Yeah, I can do something small. He goes, okay, if I give you a nice shot, can you make it look big? I'm like, okay. But after the match and after the things happened went down where he was supposed to be mad at the referee. So what happened was championship match, main event,
Yeah.
and he's a babyface. And the heels come in and beat me up, so I'll call disqualification because they interfered in the match.
Yeah.
So of course, Boogeyman wins by DQ, but he can't win a championship. So he's angry at me because he still wins, but he can't win a championship.
Yeah.
So from here, I think it was a heated moment. He just picks me up for his double handle choke slam. I'm up in the air. I'm like, well, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
I know what to do, but I tucked my chin to my chest nicely. I still went on the mat and ricocheted my head back to the mat. Had a little mild concussion.
Wow. Are you out after that for a while?
No, I had maybe 2 weeks off from wrestling after that, but just by schedule wise. And then from then I was actually okay.
Wow. When you talk moments, is there moments in pro wrestling? We talk about NCW and other companies, but just in general that you were part of, whether it was a championship or a certain match that sticks out?
So Northeast no, this is New England Championship Wrestling, Sheldon
Okay.
Goldberg's promotion. It was Chris Venom and Paul Lombardi main event, and what happened was Lombardi had Chris Venom pinned. I made the count 1, 2, 3.
Hmm.
But what I don't see is that Chris Venom's leg is hanging off the edge of the apron. That's kind of a rope break right
Yeah.
there. But I don't see it, so I don't call it. I call it a 3. And then a couple guys come out angry, like, "Hey, Dan, look at the screen. Watch the replay." I'm like, "Okay, fine." Watch the replay on the screen, and it's not showing the leg hanging up the side. You can assume it, but by my clear vision, I said I can't see the leg hanging up the side. I said, "Sorry, I can't call it."
Yeah.
They pull another camera out from a different angle, and it's the same thing. I can't see the leg hanging up the side. They're like, "Guys, you guys are not showing me proof that this is happening. Paul
Yeah.
Lombardi is still a champion." And then apparently some old guy who was there was like, "I'll be waiting for a referee on the parking lot." And he actually waited for me for a little while, but I had guys, "Can you just have him leave? We don't want this to go down here.
Yeah.
You know, we just don't."
Wow.
So he was gone by the time I left.
Wow. I thought you were gonna get in a fight in the parking lot. I was gonna say, how crazy.
No, that was Framingham, so you never know.
Yeah. I'm curious for you. If someone was to ask you, is there a match or two that sticks out that you would say, I guess, defines your career? If somebody was to ask you a match that you're part of, you'd point them right away?
Oh, that's tough because lately I became a lot more relaxed in my matches.
Okay.
Whereas before I'm overthinking things like, okay, they're gonna do this now. What do I do? It's like I'm just gonna feel it.
Hmm.
Whatever they do, I'm just gonna feel it and call whatever I see.
Yeah.
As for what match in particular, my memory is not that good for that kind of thing.
So when we talk of your career, is there any goals now for Dan Tanaka, or you're just doing it because you love pro wrestling?
Yeah, I mean it's fun. I just love it, and
Nice.
I enjoy my job a lot more now. Getting into the supportive role for guys and help them tell their stories with whatever it's gonna be. Get the emotions going up for the fans because close calls, you can make that really emotional for people.
Yeah. One thing I gotta applaud, I'm curious for your original goals with. When I was doing my research on Dan Tanaka, your website is absolutely insane. Every match you've ever done, every show. So what was your original goals with this website? Because it's unreal.
Well, I have wanted to get like pictures and videos on there, but I'm not that tech savvy.
Okay.
I'm on an old 2007 iMac.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of cheap like that, but
Yeah.
I like to get videos on there, more blogging. Um, of course, just more content that people actually want to see.
Mm.
I do like my log. I started that maybe a few months into my wrestling. I was just like, you know what? This is gonna be a good journal.
Yeah.
Other guys are like, oh, you're keeping count of your matches. I'm not really keeping count. I'm just keeping a log of whatever I do.
Yeah.
And that's the promotion, the date, the venue, the location, the match, the Hoover's manager, how they won,
Hmm.
and so forth. One thing I didn't do is I didn't add in like special event names. So that
Oh.
part I'm kind of lacking on. I wish I did that.
Do you have them all or no?
I don't because I most of them I've forgotten about. And I still don't add them in now.
Yeah. When you talk your career from that first match you ever logged NCW to most recent, how has Dan Tanaka evolved?
A lot more relaxed,
Nice.
louder, way more interactive with the matches. Like before, I'm just like, oh, in the corner, okay, get out the corner, man. One.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out, clean break, guys, come on.
Yeah.
A lot more vocal, and the fans get to hear me say stuff. I can say, hey, stay off his throat, and some fans say, yeah, stay off his throat, man. Stuff like that.
Nice. Well, Dan, I want to thank you for joining me. However, I've ended every interview the same now. The day you decide it's all done in pro wrestling, which obviously isn't happening anytime soon, but the day you decide it's all done, what do you want Dan Tanaka's legacy in pro wrestling to be?
Uh, the referee, you know,
Nice.
is the standard referee. Nothing too loud, nothing. I don't go for spotlights. Just the model referee.
Nice.
Yep.
Dan, thank you so much for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dan, for doing this, and thank you, everybody, for watching this episode. This was Best for Business.
Thank you for watching this episode of Best for Business. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, because this is Best for Business.